Welcome back. And today's chair routine is solely standing. And we're going to be focusing on strengthening the lower limbs, so the legs, particularly the knees and the ankles and the buttocks. And for the session, you'll need a nice straight back chair, preferably with no arms, but this session does enable you to do a routine if your chair has got arms. And also some kind of block. Doesn't need to be this thick either, just something to allow you to raise one foot slightly higher than the other. So something about 1 inch in height. You can use a yoga block, or you could even use a nice thick book. If you still have a copy of the yellow pages, that will work perfectly. So let's begin. Come into a standing position for me. Just plop your block to one side to start with. Now the chair is to assist with your balance, but if you can do these exercises without using the chair and challenge your balance, even better, but it's there to catch you just in case. Start with your feet hip socket distance apart. Lengthen up through your spine. Relax your shoulders. And just take a moment to feel as though you're aligning your body. So notice whether you're sticking your bottom out, pushing your hips forwards. And think about the knees being over the ankles, the hips being over your knees, shoulders over the hips, standing tall. And then slowly, without leaning forwards, begin to lift up onto your toes and down into the heels. And you want to maintain that alignment. So sometimes when we're doing this exercise, we like to push the hips forwards or tilt forwards. You want to stay aligned and upright. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. See if you can get that full range of movement, going right up onto the toes and down. If you have a toe or ankle injury, you can either skip this bit or you can do a slightly easier version, which is to lift and lower one heel at a time. So you're not weight bearing quite so much. And 3, and 2, and then see if you can hold those heels up and bend the knees and straighten. Bend the knees and straighten. Now if it's possible to have a mirror in front of you, maybe you have a standing mirror or a wall mirror, it can be really helpful to see your alignment as you do this, to check your knees aren't going out to the sides or your ankles are sickling. Exhale, inhale, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and lower the heels. From here, turn the feet out, turn the heels in, so it's like a first position or a little pizza wedge. And we lift up onto the toes, and we press those heels back together as we come down. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Hands on the hips for an extra challenge, or use the chair to assist with your balance. And 5, 4, inhale, exhale, 3, 2, hold it up on 1, and then see if you can bend the knees and straighten. If you can get the heels to press together and stay together, even better. Bend and straighten. Exhale, inhale. Keeping that alignment, there'll be a temptation to want to stick the bottom out. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good, and drop your heels down. Okay, take your feet a little wider than your hips, turned out, and then we lift the heels again. 10, 9. Keeping the weight on the big toes if possible. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the last one up, bend the knees. 10, 9. Now today's session, I'm going to build in lots of levels. So if you find a level you just fatigue or it doesn't feel right for you, then go back to the previous level. And 2, and 1. Drop your heels down. Good. Turn the toes in, heels in. Toes in, heels in, toes in, heels in. Good. Take your block and just place it down close to your chair or your book and stand on it with your toes on and your heels hanging off. And then allow your heels just to sink down over the edge of the block. And this is going to give you a really lovely stretch in the back of your calf muscles. Really good if you have stiff ankles. And then lift up onto the toes. And again, sink the heels down. Now this is where having a mirror is really handy, because you can see as you lower down that you're keeping your feet parallel, that you're not turning out or turning in. And 6, 5, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. And 2, and 1, and then just hold it there. Enjoy that stretch. Hang out for a moment. Balance. And then when you're ready, just lift one heel and allow the other heel to sink a little bit lower. Be careful you don't hike your hips, so keep your hips level. And then switch sides. Good. And again, if you've got a mirror in front of you, you can really see what you're doing, that you're not rolling into that ankle. You're keeping your foot parallel. I dare you to look down and hold your balance. Good. And switch. And switch. And switch. Keeping those hips level. So if you can have the hands on the hips, that will help you feel what's going on. 2, 2, 1, 1, ooh, and step off. Right at the last minute. Okay, good. So now you're going to face away from the chair. So your side is in line with the chair. And you have one foot on your block. And then just bring the foot up so it's parallel to the other foot. And just be wary that you're not leaning into your chair. It's there to help you with your balance, not to hold you up. And then take your swinging leg, your free leg, and just take it out and in. Nice flexed foot, pushing through your heel. And we go exhale, inhale. Good, 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it forwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the last one. Bend the knee up and out, and this starts to work the core. 9, 8, 7. I'm doing 10 of each repetition. If 10's too much, do less. Work up to 10. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it back. And center. Take it back. and center. Now be wary with this one that you don't push your body forwards. Keep that pelvic alignment, keep that stability that we always talk about. Always in lying down. Well, it's the same standing too. And that's where you're going to get that core strength, keeping that stability. 4, 3, 2. Hold it back, kick heel to buttock, and stretch. Keeping the extension of the legs. So I'm still pulling behind, but I'm kicking heel to buttock. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Drop down onto the foot. And just take a little break for a second. So in a moment, I'm going to add in a slightly more challenging level that involves all of what we've just done. But if you've had enough and you're feeling the ache in that supporting leg, then do this next exercise instead, which is a simple lift and lower. But really concentrate on your balance and keeping your pelvis level. So what we're not doing is hiking the hips. And just carry on doing that. So you're still working out, but it's just taking the pace down a little bit. We'll do 3 more, and then those that want to move on, I'll show you what's next. 2, hold it on 1. So, next stage. We bring the leg up, we kick out, up, we kick to the side, up, we kick behind, and repeat. Forwards, side, back, forwards, side, back. 2 more. Forwards, side, back. Last one. Forwards, side, back. And now a circle. Swing the leg forwards, circle back. Swing it forwards, circle back. 2 more. And then reverse. You're working really hard to stabilize through this leg. Take it back. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest down. Ooh, definitely felt it working in that hip. I don't know about you. Okay, you can turn around and do the other side, or just flip your chair around. So, standing on that block. The chair is there if you need it. Bringing your hips up level, the feet are level. We start with that lateral lift as we go out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. 2, 1. We go forwards. 10. Get as high as you can without changing the tilt of the pelvis, so it stays neutral. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold 1, knee to chest and forwards. 10, 9, 8, inhale, exhale. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Take it back. And center. Take it back. And center. Watching we don't thrust the body forwards. Use those abdominals to help keep your pelvis neutral. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it back. We kick to the buttock and out. So from a side view, this is what it looks like. Buttock, out. 7, 6, and I'm trying to keep that pelvis neutral. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, so we're going to take things a little bit further in a second, but if you prefer, you can just do this. Take a break. If you're going to take it to the next level, do this one as well, because it is quite a nice little in-between, recuperate, regroup. 3, 2, either keep doing that or join me for the next bit. We kick forwards, we kick out, we kick back, forwards, out, back, forwards, out, back. One more time, forwards, out, back, circle, forwards, out, back, forwards, out, back, forwards, keeping that pelvis as steady as you can. We reverse, back, round, forwards, back, round, forwards. If I can do it, so can you. Good, and rest. Shake those hips out. Well done, everyone. Bet you thought a leg series was going to be nice and easy. Okay, let's have a little stretch out now. You can move your block out of the way. Come around to the other side of your chair. Place your hands on the seat. And you want to position your heels underneath your hips. So essentially it's a little bit like 4-point kneeling position, just without kneeling on the knees. And then from here, we're just going to go up into a cat. Just feel that nice stretch into your back. And think about most of the exercise being on the pelvis, so really getting into that tuck. The upper back doesn't need to round that much. It's more the lower back. And then tilt your pelvis back into neutral and think about sending your heart forwards, lifting the head slightly and dropping the shoulders, so we go into that upper back extension. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, tuck your pelvis, ripple up through your spine. Focus on that tuck as you breathe in, and then exhale, uncurl, pushing the heart forwards. Breathe in, exhale, curl. Inhale, and exhale. Extend. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, curling up. Tuck, 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 tuck that pelvis. Inhale, and exhale, uncurl into that extension. And then just hold it here for a few moments, just take a few breaths. Feel your shoulders relaxing down, keeping that pelvis neutral. You should feel those abdominals working in the background. Knees a little bit soft. It's really good to arch our upper back. Good. And then from here, step your feet quite a bit further back and just have a play. You may need to move them a bit further. But I want you to push back as if you were doing something very similar to a downward dog in yoga. Now, depending on the range in your shoulders will depend on how low you can sink, and depending on the flexibility of the hamstrings will depend on how far you can push back. If you need to, soften your knees slightly. And then hinge your body forwards, bringing the shoulders over the wrists. You get a bit of a stretch now, just in the back of those calves. You feel those abdominals working to support you. And hinge back. hinge forwards. Hinge back. Hinge forwards. One more time, hinge back. And hinge forwards. Good. Oh, big stretch into those calves. And return to your 4-point position. So we're going to do a little glute series now. And as always, I'm going to add in little extras for those that might want to work a little bit harder. So first of all, checking shoulders over wrists, hips over ankles, nearly said knees. And I want you to feel the weight a little bit into the right hand and the left foot. So a bit like we're doing Superman on the mat. And then slide the right leg back without leaning to your left or lowering or lifting the hips. Keep them level. And then lift and lower. Lift and lower. And I want you to be feeling this in the back of the hamstring and the glute, but also in your tummy muscles. And 5. And 4. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 3. 2. Hold 1. And then bend the knee in and come into that cat shape again. Curling the knee in towards the chest, nose towards knee. And then stretch the leg away again. Inhale, curl in. And exhale, send away. Be careful that you don't fling your leg up too high and arch your lower back. I'm going to keep that back either round or neutral. Good. 2. 1. And bring the leg in. Reposition if you've started to lean out of place. Keep the right leg bent and we take the knee out. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. Keeping that pelvis as level as you can. 2. 1. Place the foot down. Okay, reposition. This time the weight a little bit into the left hand and the right foot, neutral spine, with control. Slide the leg away and then lift. 8. 7. 6. Exhale, inhale. 4. 3. 2. Hold. And then a little bit extra if you want to. Bring the knee in. And stretch away. Bring it in. And stretch away. And 3. And 2. And 1. Taking it a bit further, bring the knee in. Reposition. And we take it out. Being careful not to push your right hip out. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And down. Good. Take the feet back. And maybe if you feel like it, have another little stretch. And then come and have a seat. So I just want to finish off with a little glute stretch. If you have a hip replacement, sadly there's not much of an alternative to this particular glute stretch we're going to do. One thing I would suggest you could do instead is just hugging the knee in towards your chest, but just be very careful, don't squeeze too hard, just enough that you feel a bit of a stretch, and then release. Unfortunately, this particular crossing action, especially if you've had a newly replaced hip, is not an ideal position to be in. So, if you have a hip replacement, gently hug the right knee in. If you don't, cross the right leg so you're making a 4 shape, and then just hinge forwards and release. Hinge forwards and release. Good. If you're doing the alternative, you don't need to do anything, just hold the leg here, sitting nice and tall. And on your last lean forwards, just hold that stretch, straighten the spine, shoulders down, and just hold it there for a moment. Good, and release. So same on the other side. Whatever you did on one side, make sure you do the same on the other. So hip replacements, hug the knee in and just hold it here. You don't need to do anything else. You can just relax. Otherwise, cross the foot over the opposite knee, sit tall, shoulders relaxed, and hinge forwards. Good. Now if you are very tight, you may find your range is tiny, and that's fine. That's your range. You've got tight muscles. If they're not too tight, you might find you have a bigger range. So just do what feels right for your body. Always listen to your body. And 3, and 2, and 1. And release. And then just do some nice shoulder circles. 3, 2, 1. And you're done. Thank you so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this session today. Maybe it surprised you a little bit. Either it was more challenging than you expected, or you were stronger than you gave yourself credit for. Either way, it's a good one to practice to build that strength, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.